Hello, Riga. Hello, smart guys. So today we're going to talk about a really sophisticated thing, which is called unit economics. So first, before we start, I'm just going to ask the question, does anybody familiar with the unit economics, with the product unit economics? Can you raise your hands? Whoa, cool. I told you before, there are a lot of smart people in the room. Yeah, so my presentation is basically dedicated to the 3 reasons why unit economics is important and how to apply this technology in your business, right? So the first one is how to assess market sustainability with the help of the unit economics. The second one is how to forecast your profits based on the historical data you already got. And the third one is how to optimize basically your product, how to get better, how to gain more revenue into the product. For me, unit economics, this is something like a core of a business, like a core of understanding the business stats, right? But before we start with the unit economics, so I want to touch upon the really important thing, which is called digital marketing modeling or digital marketing framework. I'm working at Httpool for the last 5 years, running the performance team, helping our businesses grow and thrive through the connection of the different digital marketing solutions, technical solutions, as well, and creative solutions, just to give them the complete visibility on how to grow, right? Digital marketing frameworks, this is something which describes how the business is operating online. That's about what we're going to talk with you today, right? So I'm going to present 2 digital marketing frameworks to you. The first one is RACE. RACE model is mostly dedicated to the all web businesses, right? So if you're running e-com shop, for example, RACE model is dedicated to this niche, to this direction, right? So it consists of 4 stages, really, really important. The first one is reach, and the goal is to acquire user into your product, acquire into your funnel, right? So you are building awareness, you are building trust. On the second stage, which is called act or action, you are tracing just all useful actions user make inside of the product. For which purpose? To know what they like, what they don't like, what they want, where they are in terms of the final stage, right? Again, for which purposes? Just to come up with the retargeting strategies and to push them to the next stage, which is called convert. Convert, that's about money, right? And the last stage, which is called engage, this is really crucial to understand how the unit economics looks like in the real life, right? So when we are building the community of the loyal customers, right, with the main idea to turn this model around again and again, and it takes us to the conversations regarding the unit economics, by the way, right, regarding LTV. The next model I'm going to share with you, which is called AARRR. This is mostly related to the all product businesses, to the like mobile applications, software as a services, and so on, right? So it consists of the 5 stages. The first one, acquisition, the same goal we are following here, just to acquire the users through the social media, through the other sources, right? The second one is activation, when we are tracing what they are doing inside of the product. The third one is retention, which determines the potential of your business, right? Because retention rate is really, really crucial. So if you have the highest retention rate possible, so you have the highest LTV, right? So that's the goal, to have the highest retention rate and the lowest churn rate, right? The 4th stage is referral, when you're launching some referral programs to acquire new users again. And the last stage is revenue, of course, when we are talking about the money, right? So what is unit economics in the simple way, right? So unit economics describes a specific business model, revenue and cost, in relation to individual unit, right? In a nutshell, we are talking about how much value each unit generates for the business. The good question is, okay, so what is unit in this case, right? So unit is the quantifiable item that creates value for the business. So for each unit, we gain revenue, right? And through the increasing number of the units, we scale the business. For the different types of the businesses, depends on the business specifics, so you can face different unit types, I would say. For any sort of the production, it could be the product, of course. For the all online businesses, this is the user, because user generates revenue for us. This is unit. For the agency business, for example, it could be the contract. For any sort of the outsourcing businesses, it could be the work hour, I would say. Why is it important for your business, for any business in the world? Because we have a set of business questions that can be answered with the help of unit economics. So the basic formula that everybody knows, that LTV minus customer acquisition cost equals profit. Yes or no? You will know in the end of the presentation, right? First, we must calculate how much value one user or one unit generates for the business. That's about LTV, of course. If we take a look at the product timeline, right? So you obviously have the different product stages, development stages, right? If you are just only on the launch stage, so most probably you consider to gather the sophisticated information regarding the average customer acquisition cost, regarding the LTV, and come up with the basic calculations, whether it's worthy of launching this product. Do we have the market for this product or not, right? And you can buy this data from the third-party providers. You can ask this data from the partners. You can also take a look at the competitors' data, right? The second position, when you already have the historical data, you made some tests, and you are considering to scale your product. You are considering to invest more. You are considering to extend the marketing expenses, right? So in this way, unit economics can help you to come up with all these calculations, come up with the forecasting, with the prediction modeling, and it takes you to the position when you definitely know is it worth to do it or not, right? If you want to add some new feature inside of the product, or change an onboarding flow, right? Or change the pricing model, and you also want to understand where it gets me, the unit economics also can help you to answer for all these questions, right? How does it work? So that's, again, the basic formula that we're going to follow today, right? You can also face a different acronyms, a different metrics, but the essence will be the same, right? Why? Because there are a lot of companies, they are providing a service about unit economics calculations. There are a lot of data science specialists who can help you with this one, right? And they're using different metrics. The next question is how to define the customer, who is the customer for us, right? So if we take a look at the simple funnel for the mobile application, when we have the following stages, user installs the app, then makes a payment, then renews the subscription, right? So in this direction, we define the customer as the user who makes a payment. In some specific cases, it could be changed. For example, we can also define the user who starts a trial, who activates a trial. Why? Because user makes a commitment to pay, and the user will be charged in 7 days, in 14 days. Depends on the business specifics, of course, and depends on the business model. So what is customer acquisition cost, right? And how we define customer acquisition cost. So basically, obviously, you have two types of the costs, right? Like the first one, fixed cost, and the variable cost. Example, fixed cost, the cost you are dedicated to develop your product. Variable cost, your marketing expenses. You want to get more units, more users inside of the product, you have to extend the marketing budget, right? So that's variable. How to calculate this one? So you have the total spend, which is related, this is important, right? Which is related to the unit only, right? And you have to divide this by the number of new customers or the number of new units you got acquired, right? So let's talk about the LTV. What is LTV, right? So LTV, that's how much money user gets from the unit or from the user before user churns or stops consuming the product, right? That's why in the beginning of my presentation, so we just talk about the marketing models, right? Because LTV is crucial in this way. How we are calculating LTV? So we always take a look at the period, right? So if you have the product with only one-time payment without subscription, of course you're considering LTV like LTV for the first month, 30 days LTV. But in the majority of the cases, a lot of products, they have a subscription models inside, right? And we are tracing the user behavior within the time range. And we are considering LTV as LTV from 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, half a year, or 1 year, 2 years, when the break-even point comes, depends again on the business specifics, right? To get closer into this stuff, so I want to provide an example to you, just to give the complete visibility of what's going on inside of these calculations, right? So let's imagine that we are running the mobile application. It has the subscription model inside, and you have the new users who got acquired recently, and you also have the old ones who are already paying following the subscription model, right? You have the same amount for the marketing expenses month over month. Let's put it as 1K US dollars, right? And you have the revenue, which is coming unequally, right? So if we take a look at the first month, so we spent the same amount, 1K, for acquiring new users for the marketing expenses and got 700 in revenue. On the last month, on the 6 months, we spent the same amount and got 1.5K in revenue. The question is coming in the chat. Does it mean that the last month we just got more quality users with the highest LTV? Does it mean that we have to scale our product or not, right? In fact, no. And this is the trap that many businesses are getting down in this direction when you are looking just at the marketing expenses following the current months, and on the flip side, you are looking at the revenue which is coming, right? So in this direction, we have to follow the cohorts, right? And let me explain what is cohort. Cohort, this is the group of users which are united with the same characteristic or characteristics, right? For example, we got acquired the users at the 1st of January, and we want to trace their behavior in the range of the time. And we want to know how much revenue we will gain in 1 month, in 3 months, in 6 months, when the break-even point comes, when we will start to gain profit, right? That's why the right approach is follow the cohorts, of course. And following this approach, you will have like the full control over these calculations, right? Also, you can get into the breakdowns or slices, data slices, I would say, right? So you can go with the more sophisticated way and understand, okay, so what will be the behavior of the exact cohort if we gonna get these users from the United States, from Meta as a traffic source, or from Twitter as a traffic source, right? And we're investigating this exact cohort and its behavior. When it comes to the forecasting, that's a really, really interesting topic. So, of course, we take a look at the segments, and there are 2 types of the situations, right? So the first one, when you have a data, historical data, regarding the subscriptions, regarding the LTVs, regarding the customer acquisition costs, you can put all these data together, right? And come up with the forecasting, with the modeling. For example, I definitely know that if I will buy users from the United States, I will invest 1K, 100K US dollars, right? So the break-even comes in 6 months. The LTV will be the following, the customer acquisition cost. I definitely know the exact number, right? And just to get the full control, our feed, so you can go simple, you can go hard. You can come up with the Data Studio reports, with the Tableau reports. If you, I would say, like established business, right? So you can come up with some BI systems and just give the management, investors, like the full control over this one, right? The second situation, when you don't have the data, right, historical, or you have a limited data. In this direction, you can come up with the forecasting or prediction modeling with the help of mathematics or probabilistic modeling. So let's imagine that you have the data regarding the user's behavior, retention rate, whatever, for the third day, fifth day, and seventh day, right? And you want to know what will be the user behavior on the day number 28, right? So you see on the right side on the slide the curve, right? Which is described by the function, mathematical function, right? And based on these calculations, you can forecast what will be the retention rate, right? And based on this information, you can also come up what will be the revenue on the day number 28, and just to calculate the cumulative revenue within this LTV cycle, like 28 days cycle or 1 month and LTV, right? So all these calculations can be made by one data science specialist or the product analyst, right? So that's not rocket science. You just have to know which people you have to hire inside of your company, just to have the full control over it. The last part I'm going to share with you, that's about sophisticated technology, which social media platforms provide to you. So that's a tailor-made, a ready-made solution. For example, Meta has really cool technology, which is called Meta Profit, forecasting at scale, right? So you can Google it and just simple find the tailor-made package on the GitHub, right? So that's already developed. You don't need to develop the bicycle again, right? And this technology gives you an opportunity to forecast the marketing metrics related to the platform. For example, you want to know what will be the CPM trend. CPM, that's cost per 1,000 impressions, right? What will be the CPM trend in upcoming quarter? Why? Because you can adjust your media budgets, of course, right? If you know that the CPM trend will be upward, so most probably you have to diversify your media budgets and just think about how to split it between the platforms, right? Or reduce your marketing budgets. Why? Because the customer acquisition cost will be growing in this exact period, right? If you know opposite, that the CPM is going to be downward, like a trend, right? So you can also adjust your marketing expenses and get more cheap users inside of the funnel, inside of the product, right? How does it work in practice? So if you have the historical data, you just simply get all this data from the ad accounts, right? And utilizing the Meta Profit technology, so Meta can come up with the forecast for you. Just a quick note that social media platforms, they never share the benchmarks. Never, ever, right? But everybody is looking for the trends, for the benchmarks. We want to know what will be the CPM trend, and then we can simply calculate, okay, so what will be the approximate CPI, CPC for me, any media buying-related metrics, right? And considering all these metrics together, we can forecast the revenue-related metrics, right? Again. So that is why this is what we are doing for the client, just to connecting modern Meta solutions with the client's business, just to give the full control over of it, right? So thank you so much for your attention. I just want to finish my presentation with the motto. So I wish you luck, dare to develop the products, dare to lead, and dare to win. Thank you.